Hello, my name is Alice and I like creating things. Now, if you've watched me for a while, you'll know this by now. I create graphic design videos, tutorials, I redesign logos, I do a lot. So if you are new here, please do subscribe and join me on the journey. I like doing studio vlogs, tutorials, lots of creative things. I'd love to have you. And if you've been around a while, I'm sure you're probably sick of my face right now, so thank you for coming back. Today I'm doing something that actually a lot of people have asked me questions about. So this is how to properly present your work and how to use mockups. So mockups is something that I discovered when I was at uni. I didn't really know anything about them beforehand, and since I discovered them, I haven't turned back. So I've downloaded a bunch of mockups from Envato Elements. I've actually saved a little collection on there, so you can go ahead and download the ones that I've selected too. And basically, these mockups allow you to present what otherwise would be a flat piece of work onto a product, so like a box, a frame, a van, a car, literally anything you can think of, there's usually a mock-up for it. And my personal favourite spot to get them is Envato Elements. I will leave the link to Envato in the description. It's just like a one-time subscription fee and you can download as many as you want. You don't have to pay per download, so 10 out of 10 for that. So the first mock-up that we're going to do is business cards. Now, business cards are relatively easy to design and also easy to mock up, which I think is great. It's a no-brainer. You might as well mock them up so that your clients can see what they're actually going to look like. So this is the mock-up file that I have. Let me just show you how it looked when I sort of downloaded and unpacked it. So it is this one. So this is the file that I unzipped. In this file are 3 folders. I will say this is a very organized one. Sometimes you literally just get the PSD file. This one has instructions with a PDF in it if you want to read that. It has a texture, which I'm presuming it applies to the PSD file. And then also has this PSD file, which has all the different options. So if I just preview these, you can see we've got different variations of ways to present a business card. So that's that. I've gone for this one. And down here on the right-hand side, you'll see that we have some folders. Again, these will differ depending on who's made it and how organized they are, but usually the ones that they want you to change say your design here or click here and they'll be highlighted in a color. So what I'm going to do is click on the square of that and it says paste your design here. So if I go back into my file, something I prepared earlier is a business card design. Again, this design I just downloaded from Envato rather than us messing around actually designing things in this video. I wanted to show you how to present them. If you do want me to show you how to design a business card or any of the things I show you, let me know and I'll do that. So I've scaled that up so it fits sort of the ratio. That's ready to go. So all I need to do is hit save. So file, save. That now saves this into that layer. So we can get rid of this box here and then head back over into the business card file and you'll see it's updated it. Then the same applies to this one. So again, your design here, card number 2, super clear, super easy. Double click that. Opens the file, and actually I feel like I should have done them the other way around, so I'm going to drag this one in again and we'll swap them. So scale it up, press enter to lock in those changes, hit save. So I'm going to do command save, get rid of that, and it's in there. And then I'm just going to go back in and quickly change this bottom one too. So I've just changed that second one. If we zoom in, you can see that we now have the business cards ready to go. Now you can leave it like this if you're happy with that. Perfect, just go to file, save as, give it a name, you're good to go. You can export it as a PNG or a JPEG, send it to your client. You can also, if you want to tweak things a little bit, change these little settings. So this one again in particular has a lot of detail, which I love, and you can activate some of these. So next to this purple folder here, there's a little arrow. If I click the arrow, it drops it down, and then in here we have color filters. So they've given us some options to sort of play around with the lighting, very subtle changes, but you can tweak that to suit you. So that's one thing we do. And then there's also a film grain option which they've added in. So if I turn that off, I mean, I didn't see much difference there, but you know, play around. And then there's also the settings in card 1 and card 2. So I don't recommend playing around with these if you are quite new at mockups, because you might mess something up. Obviously you don't have to save it, you can always revert back, so it's not the end of the world. But in here you can sort of change more things if you want. So you can pick the card edge colour. So at the minute the card edge, if I zoom in, is set to white. So you can sort of see on the black card here, this edge is white. So if I click this little white icon, you see it says pick card edge color, double click, change that to black. Well, you can see it changing, look, change it to red. So if your artwork is a particular color right to the edges, you can change it to match. So in this case, I'll do like a dark gray, press OK, and we're sorted. That same thing will apply to the other card as well. And yeah, that's basically the first one done. It's literally as easy as that. Next up, we're going to mock up a print in a frame. So if you are selling prints on Etsy, you want to display that work, you want people to see what it would actually look like in a home setting. It's also super helpful for Instagram. I use a lot of these when promoting my little small shop. We sell prints and stationery, and having mock-ups for those really brings everything to life rather than just like a screenshot of your screen, you know? So I have this mock-up. First up, these guidelines really annoy me, so I'm going to just get rid of those. So if you go up to view and clear guides, it's got rid of them. I don't know why it has those. So this folder here, if we click on that, you can see we've got a few different variations. So again, you get a bundle and you can pick which one you prefer. I've gone with the light one because I love a shadow. And they also have the instruction guide, which is a helpful PDF. We love to see it. So I've gone for this one, and we have a file down here in the layers panel. By the way, if you can't see the layers panel, go to window and make sure this layers thing is ticked, and then you should be able to find it. So if we click this drop down here, and it says straight away, edit image, smart object. So this one is literally very simple. It's a background and it's a picture. So we'll see how this looks. Let's double click, have the image. Why do we have these guys? I don't know. Let's get rid. And I'm going to drag in the artwork that I want to use. So let's drag that in. That's a PDF. So I just need to confirm I want it to import like that. And it's actually dragged in underneath. You can see here, it says drop image clipping mask. So I think what we need to do is drag this up like so. We're going to press save, and we're not going to get rid of this menu because I feel like I might need to tweak this. So let's go back to the page. So you can see that they still have this border on it, which we don't want. So let's go back to this, scale it up. Sometimes you'll find when trying to display a print that the aspect ratio of mockups differ quite a lot. If you've designed in A4, for example, when you're searching for mockups, search A4 mockups, and then they will be the right scale. In this case, it looks like obviously it's a lot shorter, so I've had to zoom it in and fit it, but just for demonstration for this video, that's fine. In real life, I'd obviously figure that out. So press save again, gone back in, and there you go, it's in the mockup. Now, ideally, it would be good if we could change the colours of this. In terms of this mockup, we cannot. So just consider that if you do download this one. But it does look really cute. It's retained the colours that I like, and I think adding it in there really does bring it to life. All right, next one, speeding through these. Next, we're actually going to do a textile mock-up. So I have this blanket here, and I have a pattern that I designed in a previous video. I will leave that linked on screen in the description. And I'm going to add that pattern to this blanket, or I'm going to try. So again, let me show you the file. So textile in here, this one's more simple. Read me, please. You can't miss that. So that's literally just a text file with a little bit of instruction, and then this is the mock-up. So it's just a single mock-up this time. When we open that, you can see your design here. So again, not quite as clear. So if you are new to it, again, you might not instantly know what to do. All you need to do is double click this. It opens the file and you can replace it. You've probably seen a theme by now. Once you get the hang of it, it is pretty self-explanatory. By dragging that pattern, I'm going to scale it up pretty large because at the minute, obviously it's quite zoomed in, and obviously we can play around with it. Press enter to lock that in. Command S to save it, Control S if you're on a Windows computer. And then I'm not going to close it again. I'm going to go straight back to this and see what that looks like. I mean, I think that looks pretty cute. I might scale it up a little bit. So back to this window. So scale it up. I'm holding Option, by the way, and it just keeps it scaling from the center. So enter, press save, and there we go. It took a little while to update that time. So you can see it's zoomed in a little bit. And in here, we also have the adjustments. So unlike the previous one with the print when it was very basic, this one has those adjustments that are ideal really. So bear that in mind when you do download mockups. Having these really helps when you're sort of tweaking things. So we have levels and curves. So levels and curves, if we unlock them up here, so the little lock button, click that, now we can edit. So levels and curves will help you play around with the colours. So if I drag one of these sliders, hopefully you see it's getting darker, the picture itself. So if you want to lighten things up, you can do that. It actually might make that a little bit darker so there's some shadow in the blanket. And the same applies with the curves. So if we go into the curves section, at the minute it's in a preset, so it's on linear contrast. You can change these and it sort of plays around with what it looks like. So as easy as that. Again, save that, export it as a PNG, send it to your client, and you can demonstrate what the design looks like. All right, next up, we're getting a little bit more technical here. We have 4 objects in one image. So this one is a coffee mock-up. Again, let me show you the file. So coffee, we have the help PDF, love to see it. And then we have loads of different options actually. Let me just quickly open these so you can see. So you've got plenty to choose from. I love the quality of these. Really, really helpful if you're obviously designing for a coffee brand. I've chosen this one and we are going to have a play around. So obviously open the layers panel as always. Drag that up so I can see it. And this one, wow, has a lot of options. I sort of expected this because there's 4 different things. So items, we have paper bag 1, bag 2, cup 1 and cup 2. So my inkling is to open one of these and you can see paper bag 1, side graphic, and colour. Little confused because there's no sides showing on these bags, so I'm not sure why we need to change that. Unless it's literally like that tiny little bit, in which case that's very detailed. So this side graphic, I'm going to leave that as is because if it is that little tiny bit there, we don't need to change that. All I'm going to do is put a logo on it. I'm not going to change the colour or anything like that. So let's open the second one, side graphic. Okay, this looks more like it. So what I'm going to do, as always, drag in the logo. I'm going to go with just a black logo as if it's been stamped on. So let's go for this one. Scale that down a touch. That's not black, that's green. Let's go with green. It looked black when it was smaller. Position that. I could also add a background or I could add a pattern into it. It's completely up to you. Press save, go back to the mock-up. Ooh, she's shiny. Okay, so that is cool, but I don't want it. I think it looks a bit odd. Also, the placement is quite big, so let's just go back quickly, scale that down, press enter, press save, go back. Okay, we're getting there. Nudge it up a little bit. Cool. Right, I don't want this varnish thing on it, so I'm presuming selective varnish. I'm presuming that's it. Maybe not. So let's keep scrolling. So this selective varnish is turned off, which is fine. We go a bit further down. There we go. We've got another one. Look, selective varnish. So if I turn this off by just clicking the eye, we found it. So I didn't want that weird shiny thing on it. So we got rid of that. Easy as that. Let's go back up and do bag number 2. So again, open the drop down and let's do a different colour. Let's actually do black this time, but this one hasn't got the text underneath it, so something a little bit different. Put that up. I'm presuming it's going to be quite large again, so let's try that. Hit save, go back. Okay, I hate it. Let's do this one. Let's do the green again. Now you see, as I'm doing this, it is tweaking. I don't instantly drag it in and it's perfect. It will require a little bit of Photoshop knowledge just to really make it what you want it to look like. So don't be afraid to go back in. Don't be afraid to tweak it. Start a little bit from scratch and really figure it out until it suits your client. Otherwise, you won't be happy and most likely neither will they. Cool. I'm happy with that. And I like that the shadow of the first bag, you can see that reflecting on this logo. This logo's, even though it's exactly the same logo, is showing up slightly darker to replicate like the shadows. This is what you get when you download a good mockup. I love Envato elements. Again, link in the description. I rave about them a lot. Then for the cup. So I'm thinking for the cup, ooh, this is a cool. So we've got lid color, cup color, inside graphic, outside graphic. I'm presuming in this situation, the only one that is going to be relevant is, well, only two, is the color and the graphic. So I'm going to go graphic, and I'm going to put the basic logo on there. Again, I'll use the green one, but I'm not going to put the text on it. So drag that in, press enter, press save, and then go back. Look at that, almost perfect. So let's drag this up. I actually think for this one, I might add some color, but I'm going to do it myself rather than using like their predetermined one. Let me show you what I mean before I do it. So lid color, cup color. So this looks like where we changed the color. So if I wanted the cup to be green, change that. I just double clicked on that, dragged the sliders, press save, and the cup is green. We could either do that, or I want just like half of the cup to be green. So I'm going to nudge this up, and then I'm going to grab the eyedropper, pick up that green, use this rectangle tool down here and draw a rectangle. Doesn't have to be neat because it's going to get cropped anyway. Press enter, press save, see what it looks like. I'm really happy with that. I'm just going to nudge the logo a touch more. See, just by adding that small little detail, it's changed the look of it a lot, and I feel like it brings it to life. Really happy with that. And then I'm just going to quickly repeat the same process on the other cup. And there we go. We have a really cool coffee mock-up. This one's probably my favorite one I've done, actually. I really enjoy the tweaks. Again, you could go into these folders and really look at it. So we've got a background 1, background 2. What does this mean? Have fun, go and explore it. So we have, let's turn these off. So we've split the background. So they've added this white. Get rid of that. Full color. Perfect. Background 2, what's this? Go down, same again. Can we change the color of it? Yes, we can. So again, if I just go back and show you this one here, background wall, I can double click this square and I can change the color. You see here, click twice to change the color. So if I wanted the background to be slightly darker, drag this slider, hit OK, press save, go back, and it's darker. Let's try a different color, double click. Let's try like a really different color, like light orange. Okay, save, go back. There we go. We have the background. And again, we can apply that same option with this one. And you've got a cool color in the background. Very impressed. 10 out of 10. Like I said, I'll link this mock-up and all the others in the description. So for this last one, we're going to do a box. Now, this is where we introduce different angles. Again, it might be slightly more complicated, but I'll walk you through it. We'll do it together. So I've opened the file. Let me just show you what I got in the folder. So box, and in this one, super simple again, we have the help text and we have the file. Nice and easy. And this is what the file looks like when you get it. Obviously the layers panel, we have the different options. So really obviously labeled. All the red ones are the ones we can change. So we've got front, side, top, and colour. Underneath, these are the shadows, the backgrounds. If I toggle off this shadow, if I click the I button, it gets rid of that shadow. And again, it looks like if I double click this square, I can change the colour of the background. So if I want it to be dark red, or pink, or yellow, any colour you want, we can change it, which we love. So let's go in and edit some things. So again, let's go top first, double click. This is obviously their design. What I'm going to design for is actually a flower company. So I'm going to drag in their logo. I'm going to create a new layer so we can get rid of that existing graphic. So solid color. And I actually think I'd like this box to be like a warm orangey colour, something like that. And then all we do is drag that down and we have the logo. And in fact, I think I want a white logo. So quick little tip here, if again we double click this layer, so this is the logo, I double click the grey part, it brings up this layer style panel, and I can click this one, colour overlay, and it'll add a colour. if I click the grey part, I can go into the settings, change this red, drag it to white, press OK, sorted. I know that was super quick, but we are on a mission today. So we press save, let's go back, and we have the top of the box. I quite like that, pretty simple, but I like how it is. Then for the sides and the front, let's add some patterns. So again, I'm gonna layer, new fill layer, solid color, add a color. Maybe we could go for like a two-tone packaging. Let's try it, see how it looks. And then what I'm gonna do is actually sort of make a pattern style thing with this little graphic that I used on the logo. So I'm going to do that trick again, double click, color overlay, it's on white already from the last time, press OK, and now we have this white flower. I could make a pattern of it, but I actually think I'm going to just play around with the placement. I want it to be quite zoomed in and I want it to look cute. So there are my objectives. So I've placed my little graphics, I'm going to hit save, go back, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and then we have that little pattern on the side. You know what? I really like that green colour. I'm actually thinking I might change the background of the top one. So as easy as this, double click like always. So the green colour we have is down here. If I double click on this swatch, I can copy the hex code and then double click on here, paste that, we have exactly the same colour, and then again, as always, press save, press the cross, there we go, perfect. Then we want the front changing, so front, same again, layer, new fill layer, solid colour, and it's already on that green, perfect. And I'm actually going to just copy those graphics that I used on the other side. Now, it might need a little bit of tweaking to get them to match up if you want it to be sort of seamless. In this case, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. So all I'm going to do is highlight this, press copy, go back to the other one, press paste. I've managed to copy over the template graphic, but that's fine. We can get rid of that, click that, delete. And then we're just going to adjust these a touch so they fit in the shape perfectly. Cool, we have that pattern, press enter, press save, click off of both of those, and we have the box. I love this. Now, the only thing that we need to change is this little strip down here. It says box color. I think I actually might see what this looks like in white, because if I put it in that exact same green, I think it might blend in a little bit too much. Maybe if we make it a touch darker, so then you can see the edge. Perfect. So like I said, we could match up these little bits. So to do that, you just sort of overlay it and try your hardest to match them up. But like I said, in this case, just for demonstration, I think that's good. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. And there we have it. We have 5 mock-ups created, ready to send to clients so they can really visualize what their design looks like in real life. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learnt something. If you have any questions or something that I might have missed, please let me know down in the comments and I will get back to you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you next time for another one. Bye.